Today, I'm going to be doing a super targeted video. I'm going over the Demi face edits again, but this time I'm going to be focusing on the under eye super close up. I'm going to be using these two brushes. This is the Demi Spot brush. This one here, the fluffier one, is the bright brush. And this other side has these two fluffy ends for tapping and feathering the product. Here's my Demi edit for the under eyes, and my color to cover my discoloration is 03, which is orange 3. So I'm going to tap into that, and then I'm going to zoom in really close so you can see how I use all of these colors. Okay, here I am. And you can see what all is going on here. And like I said before, like I have quite a bit of discoloration. Some people don't have too much around here. And I guess, you know, to be fair, most of my discoloration is where most people have it, right in the inner corner and a little bit on the outer corner. So I am just going to show you what I do. So here is my 03, and this technique pretty much is for everyone to follow. The way that you use this is very minimal product on your brush. So you can see how that starts to erase that purpley blue. And I am literally feather strokes, light feather strokes here. And then in this area right here where I have this super purple blue, it looks to me, and still the orange will take care of it. And then I just kind of tap, and I also kind of swirl my brush, because you could do that too if you could see how it's depositing very little product, but it's canceling out that purple blue. A little bit more. And for me, I always use my lighted makeup mirror so I could really see what's going on. And it also has magnification on it as well. So you can see how that like just brightened that area there. And that was just with a couple of taps. You could also add a little bit more for brightening, but in terms of canceling the color, this is taking care of that. Now the outer corner here, you can see it looks kind of like a brownish red, but I know from looking in the mirror really closely, because that's how you work with these, is you're really going to examine your face and see what the undertone of the color is. And actually part of your color match is going to help determine, you know, for me to see where the undertones are in the discoloration to match the perfect Demi edit for you. So if you could see that brightened it up a little bit, and even though it has like kind of this brownish color to it, it also has a little bit of that purpley blue. Same thing up here, like where I have like this veining. Now for my eyelid, I also use the Demi there as well. And again, I'm gonna go into that 03, and I just put a little bit, let me show you. It almost looks like a feather dusting on here, on the brush. And then I'll just windshield wiper motions on my lid, and you'll see that start to brighten up, but it doesn't look like I have any product per se on my skin. So these are waxes, actually. So yes, it is creamy if you were to put your finger in there and just, you know, smooth like quite a bit of this product like on your skin. But when you use them like this, like super light, there is literally like, it feels like there's no product on my skin. And it's the way that it behaves on the skin in this light layers like this is like a wax. So it does not move, and it does not have to be set with powder. So you can see the difference already. Here's one eye, and then this is my eye with nothing on. And you can see like, here's all my other darkness here, just so you can see the difference for reference. And then this is this eye that I have like super close up. Now I have a little vein here, so now I'm going to show you how to target that. And if you could see, this little brown is poking through, and I'm going to show you what I do with that in my Demi edit. Just zoomed out just so I could show you. So you could see the difference just with that 03 in those targeted areas that I placed. It like, this just looks like I have no makeup on, and that discoloration has really been toned down. Now in my Demi edit, I also have colors that range more like on the pink side. This is R1, this is R01, so red, orange 1, and the numbers correspond to the level of pigment in the pan. So depending on what discoloration and skin tone you have, that determines the level that you need. But anyway, I digress. So because our under eyes, our skin all over is not just one flat color. So that's why a Demi edit really helps. I'm so glad that they're doing this now. They have pre-made Demi edits, and a lot of them, it seems like, is going to work for a lot of different skin tones, just to get like the pre-made edit. I can actually curate one for you personally, depending on your skin tone with your color match selfie. So I could see like what's going on. Anyway, So the pinks. So when I was talking about, see how it's like a little bit more brown, then I'll go into the pinks, because the pinks are actually like red. The opposite of red is green, and green is actually in these brown spots. That is the underlying color, and it kind of looks like a, if you were, you know, to think, it kind of looks like muddy, like a mulchy color. So for very targeted, I am going to go to R03 first and pinpoint on the really dark brown area here. So I'll zoom you in for that. Same brush. This is my bright brush. And this is R03. So you could see, if you just put like a light layer there, you don't really see the pink. And then you could feather it out on the other side too. But part of this pink though, what's really nice about it is it also gives like a brightening highlighting effect. So even if there is a little bit of a pink undertone that shows, I actually like it because it kind of gives like a little eye lift. So right on this darkness right here. And then here's the other side. So you can see that deep, like brownish, you know, kind of purpley blue that I got going on there. Then I got this like super nice vein here. So this is 03. I'm going back to 03 because that is for purple blue. And I'm just going to go like right on this spot, just directly on it. And I don't necessarily have to go sweeping it with this 03 on the side. But I'm going to show you what I do to brighten the whole area very lightly. But that was just the little veining, and that's all you do. So right now, this looks like it takes forever, but once you know your colors, it is literally just like tap, pinpoint, and you're like done, and it'll stay. So you can see now it looks a little bit brighter. I also have this cleaning tile that I like to put on in my Demi palette. More than any other cream that I use, like my 3D foundation. I really like to use it for this. You could also use this for eyeshadows, but we have this cleaning tile where it's this little sponge, and it's very easy to clean. You just soap and water. I just use like Dawn dish soap, but this is really great because it just easily swipes off any excess color you may have on the tips of your bristles, and then you could go into your other colors. Now I'm gonna brighten a little bit more, and I'll show you targeted, like where I do that, like where, you know, I have like this trough area. So this is 03 and this is my 01. These are very popular colors. Chances are if you're light to medium skin tone, this is going to be in your edit palette. Okay, so now with that 01, that is a super bright color and really good for highlighting and bringing forward. So since I have this dent here, obviously I can't make the dent disappear, but I can make it look a little bit more minimized, especially like looking straight on at someone. Because if you can see here, you can see like this, all the shadowing on my other eye is really like showcasing that dent because it's so dark. So brightening it kind of brings it forward so it doesn't look as pronounced. So I love this stuff. So then this is the 01, and I'll just put like a little bit lighter so you can see how it's like a lot brighter than that 03, but it's the same tone. But you can just pat. If you see a little bit of this product on your skin, that's okay because it's very easily tapped out and it'll just like blend into the skin. And what I like to do with this one is to go a little bit on the actual problem area that I have and underneath, because then this will push this forward. We start to lose volume here in our cheeks as we get older. And this actually kind of, you know, anything that you highlight is bringing forward. So this kind of just helps bring this area forward to minimize that little dent. So when I'm looking straight ahead, it looks like it's not really there. Another thing that I do with this 01, which is this one right here, again, light orange, and I put it on the wispy part of my brush here. And you can see it's very, very light feathering. And I actually then here, since I didn't put actual pinpoint coverage on here because I didn't really need to, my darkness is way more here and in here, but there's a little bit of darkness here, but it's not as bad. So what I do is I actually just very lightly feather, if you could see how it deposits it on there. It's not really like, and then very, very light feathery strokes, and you could kind of extend that onto your cheekbone just to get everything all married together like so. And then of course my eyelids are also color corrected as well, but it just looks like I have no makeup on at all. A little bit more. Great. And then what you could also do is a little bit of color with some of these demi colors that are still available. So you can see the difference in the brightness here, like how much brighter this is, and the dent seems to be very minimized, you know. So obviously, like if I'm looking at different, you know, my anatomy is going to show because our faces are three-dimensional, but looking straight ahead, and it definitely, the color is way minimized. So This stuff is incredible for that because, and it doesn't show makeup texture. So even like I'm moving, my face is moving. Obviously I'm going to smile and I have like a little bit of crinkles when I smile, but all I have to do throughout the day, because you could set this with like a very light dusting of powder if you wanted to. I personally recommend not to, because if you put these on properly, you don't need to. But if you did later have any kind of like where you're like, oh, it looks like there's like a little bit of a crease, just take your finger and you just tap it out like this, and it moves all back into place, and it looks supple and not dry or cakey at all. What I was talking about, the color. Demi used to have Sculpt colors, and they're still available and they're discounted right now. So grab them while you still can. This particular one is NR. It's a neutral red, and this actually works really well for a very natural like contour. They are phasing these out because they're concentrating mostly on color correcting now, but this used to be like a literal no makeup look. I'm hoping that they'll come out with some sort of variation again, you know, in that type of a theme where you could do like this kind of a formula as like a contour and a blush even. But these are really color correctors also for darker skin, but lighter skin complected people can use these as contours and blushes. So what I like to use this for is when I'm doing the Demi, I do very light color on my lash line. And it also helps to cover like any of this little crepiness that I have under my eyes now. Okay, so now I have a little bit of this brown. You see it's a little bit more pigmented, and I literally just sweep it under. And it barely even looks like makeup. It just looks like there's a natural shadow there. And R means neutral red. And what that does is combat any green or sallowness in your complexion, which I have. So you can see, it just looks like very natural, like I don't even have makeup here. And then I could go up on top and just do like a tiny bit of a shadow on the lash line. This is, again, still my bright brush. Like that. And it just looks like I literally have no makeup on. So this you could actually use as the hybrid method. I have a video up for that. I will be doing another one that's even shorter. I am all about consolidating this year and trying to be as succinct as possible and get right to the point. But so I'm gonna do another one where I'll do the hybrid method again, and all that means is you use your 3D foundation with the Demi, and I'll also show you how to do that with, you know, targeting like blemishes and melasma and all that stuff. Right now, I'm just doing the under eyes. So you could do the hybrid method where you have like the 3D foundation on your face and then use this strictly on your under eyes, the way I'm showing you. So another thing that I do, one more close up, this is my spot brush, and I'm gonna show you what I do with this. This one I feel like is a little wispier on the end, but it's the same thing, you know, like where it's got that fluffy end. But I like to do the more pink R01, and I'll do like kind of more of a highlight around here, and I feel like it even brings everything together a little bit more. Also, as a finishing touch with my spot brush right here, so this is that thin one, the skinny one, and you can see a little bit of this pinky color on here, and that's R01, and this is going to go right on top. So a lot of people say that you generally don't layer these, but if you put them very, very softly on, you absolutely can. You see how that just disappeared? And I'm not putting any pressure, I'm literally just tapping. But I have the R03 underneath and 03 a little bit, like when, or no, it was actually 01, sorry, when I swept it over here just to kind of like brighten everything up. And now I just tapped a little bit of that R01 because there was still a little bit of that like kind of greeny, brownish color poking through, and now it's gone. So now with this side of the brush, I am going to go into R01. I absolutely love R01, it's so pretty. And what I like to do here is just kind of very gently go around my cheeks underneath, and this is like my zygomatic arch here, my zygomatic bone, and then the orbital bone is like right here. So I go under the orbital bone and put it right on the cheekbone, and it just kind of gives like this beautiful, natural, pinky like highlight, and it just looks like radiant skin. So here's this eye that I completed with the Demi, and then this is no makeup. All right, so that's it. I just wanted to really showcase and do a zoom so you could really see what's going on and how this works and how little product you need. So all of my information is down below. Like I always say, my link tree is down there. So there's a link for shopping Seint makeup, and then that's where you'll see they're actually available January 17th. And that is going to be the Wide Awake edit, the Erase edit, and then there's a third one. There's 3 edits that are going to be curated. They're already selected, and that will help you determine, you know, like you get in contact with your artist or, you know, contact me, and I will, depending on your skin tone, be able to match you to a certain edit, or we can individually pick them if there's, you know, certain concerns that you know for sure that might be a little bit different than the edit, you know, like you might need a color that's a little deeper, different level, something like that, but we could figure all that out. Find that down below on my link tree, and everything else is there too. My Facebook group is there as well. That's like really fun. We do a lot of discussions on there, and I love to share not only Seint makeup, but also skincare advice, and you know, like anybody asks me questions about their skin, I'm always happy to help. Of course, leave a comment here if you have any questions. And on my link tree, there is a direct email link. So if you wanted to privately message me, you could do that as well. Thank you once again for joining me. I am really happy to have you here. I am having a really good time with this community. I love talking to you guys and answering any questions that you have. So once again, have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, whenever you happen to be watching this, and I will see you again next time.